Hello and welcome to Trade Routes at PCB. This is your update on international trade for March 10th, 2025. My name is Gina Cruz and I'm your host for today. On Thursday, March 6th, the U.S. government announced that it would pause the 25% tariffs for all goods qualified under USMCA, effective March 7th at 12:01 a.m. On Friday, the U.S. administration stated the possibility of additional tariffs on Canadian lumber and dairy, which could take effect later today or early the following week. The Canadian government announced that it would be delaying the second wave of tariffs from being implemented, but otherwise left the US surtax in effect. There is a lot to unpack with these announcements, so let's go. With each episode of Trade Routes, we will be bringing experts to speak with us. Today, I'm joined by our leading minds in the world of international trade, Misty Gibbons, who is our Senior Trade Advisory at U.S. Operations, and Gloria Terhar, who is our Regulatory Analyst in Canadian Operations. So ladies, thank you for being here today.
Hello.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Misty, can you give us an update on where we stand with the U.S. tariffs on Mexican and Canadian goods?
Well, there was recently a reversal of the 25% duty under the IEEPA for Canadian and Mexican goods effective March 7th, which means that products that qualify for duty-free entry under USMCA or CUSMA will be exempt from those tariffs, while those that do not meet the USMCA requirements will still incur the 25% duty. This is just paused until April 2nd.
Now, what does IEEPA stand for?
It's the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, and it's the law in which those duties were enacted.
Got it. Thank you. Gloria, can you give us an update on the Canadian surtax on U.S. goods?
Canada hasn't paused any of the surtaxes that we're currently applying to a specific list of U.S. goods. Our list wasn't all-encompassing. It's only $30 billion worth of goods, so they are still in force. What we have committed to, though, is pausing our second round of surtaxes until April 2nd. That second round is a list of an additional $150 billion worth of goods, $200 billion worth of goods that could be subject to surtaxes. Depending on the feedback the government gets from the Canadian public, the entire list may not be implemented.
So we really can't go by that list yet, just the list that's been published.
The list that's upcoming is projected. It's all items that potentially have surtax.
Right, and it's not all items, there's just certain classifications. And I can share that list with you if you have questions. Reach out to us on our tariff line. So since this announcement, it received an influx of questions regarding USMCA eligibility and what products are exempt from the tariffs under the free trade agreement. Our goal for today is to provide our viewers some details on what USMCA eligibility looks like and provide them information to answer some of these recurring questions and what that could mean for the exporters. So let's get started. First, I'm going to let you know where to reach us. So we've got a tariff line, 888-908-6638, or you can email us, tariffquestions@pcbglobaltrade.com. So let's get into what resources are available to advise individuals on USMCA product eligibility.
Well, eligibility for USMCA or CUSMA is based on specific rules of origin that differ depending on the type of product and or the tariff classification. Some rules are simple and others are quite complex. You can work with your customs broker to ensure that your goods would be eligible under the USMCA CUSMA free trade agreement.
Thank you. Gloria, anything to add there?
No, Misty covered that extremely well.
Perfect. Thank you. So here's a great one. I've seen this one so much this week. Will refunds be issued to importers who've been paying the surtax on the eligible goods? Can you help clear this up?
So the reversal of these tariffs is not retroactive. So any goods that cross between March 4th and 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on March 7th would not be eligible for a refund as far as we know at this point.
And that could change.
It could, but he was quite clear in his executive order that the pause was to begin on March 7th, 12:01 Eastern Standard Time. So to us, that's what that means is that for that day and a half, if your goods cross during that time frame, they're still going to be subject to it, unfortunately.
Is there any way to ensure our qualifications for the pause with the Border Service officers?
Well, you could provide a copy of your USMCA or CUSMA certificate to your carrier so that CBP can verify the intention that the goods qualify under the agreement. It is always at the discretion of the CBP officer to make the call as to whether the goods can proceed without it or whether they think that the goods actually qualify.
So even if we submit it electronically to them and claim duty-free under USMCA or USMCA, they can say, no, give me proof.
Correct. And
So-
we just had a brokers meeting the other day, and that was one of the questions. We actually had officers stopping carriers wanting a copy of the USMCA declaration.
So err on the side of caution, send it with the carrier and to us in your electronic transmission. Gloria, has Canada lifted tariffs on the CUSMA items?
No, we haven't.
Yet.
There's been, Minister LeBlanc has stated that Canada's current intent is to not lift any of the surtaxes, even on the CUSMA items. As I just said a few minutes ago, our tariffs are not applicable to everything entering Canada, so there's already a large number of items that don't have surtaxes applied. We also have the ability to file drawback if goods are exported as well.
Which is unlike the US side, you can't file drawback.
No, drawback is not available for the IEPA duties. And then I also just wanted to note one thing that we haven't discussed yet, and that is the Section 232 aluminum and steel duties. The reversal of the duty for the IEPA are completely separate from the Section 232 aluminum and steel tariffs set to go in effect on March 12th. As far as we know, those steel and aluminum tariffs are still set to go into effect on March 12th. So I know I've gotten a couple of questions, a couple of calls where people are asking about that. So
logically, I mean, things are happening so fast. You need that, you need some support. So how do importers engage with us for this service? Like, do you have to be a current client to get help with your free trade agreement or get some support in all these changes?
No, you definitely don't have to be a current client. We can help any importers or exporters in Canada or the US to work on those qualifications. You can also visit our website at pcbglobaltrade.com/tariffs for more information and service offerings.
Perfect. And I know we have a great blog up on how to fill out a CUSMA or USMCA and some instructions on it there. If you want to go it alone and, before you reach out to us to help with these adjustments and applications. I think that's all we're going to cover today. We really just want to cover CUSMA and let people know what's happening. So thank you all for joining me today and for this discussion of international trade. It was great information, and I look forward to our updates in the days to come. If you have any questions, again, comments, let me know. Tariff questions at pcbglobaltrade.com. They could be answered here next time, and it helps me to know what is out there, what questions are happening. As always, don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter and follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, so you don't miss any future updates. And please hit the like and subscribe button below. Until next time, my name is Gina Cruz, and this is Trade Routes. Thank you for being here.